What's going on YouTube? It's Giga here bringing you some more Series 9 Wi-Fi battles with live commentary. Today we're using this weakness policy Thundurus team that I had used during my best of 3 and didn't really get to show it off too much. So like I said, the main combo focuses on Thundurus having a weakness policy and triggering that with Alolan Ninetales. So this lets you do a lot of really cool things. Particularly you can use max airstream immediately to get really high speed, and then start using things like max darkness to also have blizzards hit super hard off that Ninetales. You have Aurora Veil, which I think is really nice for some defensive coverage, and the fact that Hail is such an uncommon type, you can break a lot of big focus sashes in the meta. Beyond that common lead, you also do have Spectrier with Sableye, with the idea that you can use Helping Hand on Sableye in order to get big hits off with Spectrier to hit on the special side. Sableye offers also Will-O-Wisp and Foul Play and Quash, all of which can be really helpful overall. And I think one of the main reasons of using Sableye over something like Grimmsnarl is, one, we already do have support with Ninetales in terms of Aurora Veil, and you do have the fact that Helping Hand ignores things like Clear Body, so one of the things this team really struggles against is Metagross, and having that immediate pressure with something like either a Will-O-Wisp to ignore the Clear Body or Helping Hand to boost Spectrier special attack and something like a Quash is really big. Finally, we do have Urshifu with the Choice Band. I think just the amount of pressure that this Urshifu puts on and the amount of damage it does is pretty ridiculous, as well as Porygon. So this is a really offensive Porygon with 3 attacks and recover, so it doesn't actually have Trick Room. And the idea of this is, even if we are in a Trick Room situation, it's not necessarily the worst thing, because there are times where we can't avoid that, due to the fact that we do have this Aqua Jet on Urshifu to go for priority moves. We do have Porygon, which obviously functions really well under Trick Room, and we also do have Sableye with Quash, allowing some of our faster Pokemon to get some big hits off. So here's the rental code. I hope all of you enjoy, and yeah, let's just hop right into the first game. Okay, battle number 1. It is Entei with a Metagross, Tornadus with Rotom-Wash, Landorus, and Amoonguss. So Ninetales is really big here. The main thing to worry about, obviously, is going to be that Entei. But I'm trying to think, and the Metagross. Metagross is actually a really big problem for Ninetales as well, sorry. So what do I want to do? Urshifu handles that really well. I do want to lead Ninetales. Ninetales is a little tricky, but Spectrier is big. I actually really like Spectrier with Sableye, with the idea that we can put a lot of pressure with Quash, as well as have big damage with Spectrier. I think then Urshifu in the back and Ninetales as well, right? Because Porygon is really tempting. But I think this is the strongest 4. The one really big thing to worry about is that Amoonguss, and the fact that it can potentially get off some big spores, and I only have Spectrier as an answer to that. So if my opponent is able to have me max and then bring out the Amoonguss, I'm kind of forced to focus on that. Okay, so we're going to see a Metagross with Entei, which suggests to me, obviously, the Bulldoze weakness policy option. And I really like... I'm tempted just to Phantasm and Will-O-Wisp. But the big fear then is if Entei goes for an attack and Metagross protects, I'm gonna... It's a little risky. I think it is super risky if that Metagross protects. But they also don't have anything that'll eat a Will-O-Wisp. So let's see. Yeah, Max Guard is obviously scary, but I don't think that they can one-shot Sableye as things stand. There is obviously the fear of Snarl from Entei. So yeah, you can protect Metagross, go for a Snarl, and then the subsequent turn go for damage. We are going to see the Metagross protect, which was definitely what I was afraid of. So very smart on my opponent's end. as Will-O-Wisp will not go through. We are going to get this Max Phantasm off, and most likely a Bulldoze. That does, wow, that does really good damage, even through Protect. So what I'm thinking is even if they go for a Bulldoze this turn, we do have the option of just quashing the Metagross and then picking up the knockout. So we do see Snarl, so good play by my opponent, and I do expect the Metagross to switch out. So they don't have any normal types, right? They have, yeah, nothing that really wants to take a Max Phantasm into this slot. And then what we could, I guess we foul play the Entei just to get some chip, because I think even if Metagross maxes, yeah, given how much that Max Phantasm did, I don't expect them to live. We are going to see the Metagross get double protect, which is really nice for them, as we do connect with this second Max Phantasm. They are going to live, unfortunately, but they are so low. And now the question is, what are we going to see from this Entei? And I think that's really going to determine a lot. We do see Sacred Fire come out into Sableye. Sableye unfortunately gets burned, but we are going to be able to retaliate with a big foul play. And I mean, yeah, that's actually really good damage, especially with the defense drops. So what I'm thinking at this point is I'm going to actually, I kind of want to strike. I'm going to strike into Entei and foul play into Metagross with the idea that I want to pick up the speed drop, with the idea that whatever I have in the back, we can really set up for something like Ninetales. And we do, yep, okay, so I don't know how much the critical hit mattered, but we are able to take out Entei, and we will get the Grenade boost, which is nice, because we are going to outspeed everything that they have in the back. And we do see, oh, unfortunately, Metagross is still faster than Sableye, which is actually a really big deal that we lose Sableye. I'm going to bring out Ninetales. I think the pressure from Blizzard is really huge, especially as we do see an Amoonguss come out. And so now what oh, because, yeah, Metagross is Clear Body. No wonder it's still faster than Sableye. Silly me. Okay, so we do bring out Ninetales. And this is a little bit of an awkward spot because of the fact that Amoonguss can easily go for a Spore. We did see Metagross just attack, so I'm going to actually go for a Taunt into Amoonguss as well as a Blizzard, and hoping that we see because if the Metagross protects, we're in a really good spot. We do see, unfortunately, Amoonguss protecting, which was not what I wanted. And, yep, they're going to eat up that as we go for a Blizzard. But, I mean, Metagross is so low that I'm hoping that Ninetales can still pick up the knockout as, okay, we still get it, which is a really big deal because now it is a 3v2 where we do have a Spectrier with a ton of HP left that can put on a ton of pressure, stop the Amoonguss. We have broken any sort of potential sash and have something like a big Blizzard. And now the question is, what does my opponent have in the back? And it's Rotom. So Rotom is actually fine. Yeah, Rotom is fine. We have Urshifu. I think Rotom did just, I mean, Amoonguss did just protect. So I want to just get damage. I want to get damage onto the Amoonguss and onto the Rotom as well. I want to get damage onto everything. I think Urshifu can finish off Rotom for sure, unless it's Choice Scarfed, but it probably is going to max. Oh, this is Wash Rotom, not Heat Rotom. Is it Heat Rotom? I actually don't know what form of Rotom it is. I think it's Wash. It is, okay, that is a washing machine. So this does make things a little bit tricky for my Urshifu. We are going to get the Shadow Ball off, and even if they Nasty Plot, we are faster, so it's still good. We get really good damage onto the Amoonguss to the point where this Blizzard definitely will be able to finish it off. And we do, like I said, have the sash on the Ninetales, so we are guaranteed to live a hit. And I do expect probably an attack into Spectrier. Okay, so they are going to nasty plot, which I think is a little bit risky, given the fact that you're facing down two things that are significantly faster than you. But at the same time, like, who's to really say, right? Yeah, there's nothing else left in the back. We can go for a Shadow Ball and just go for a Blizzard. Blizzard does have the chance to freeze. We are guaranteed, like I said, 2 hits with Ninetales, so that definitely can provide additional chip and just some nice coverage. So we are going to see the max, on Spectrier, not Spectrier, on this Rotom as expected, which is really great because of the fact that they can only now target one thing, which, I mean, to be fair, they really could only do that before with Rotom anyway. And that's going to let us get off a Shadow Ball from Spectrier, because I'm really expecting them to go for a Blizzard, as we do, bring that Rotom into under half, unfortunately triggering the berry. And so now, we do get the Blizzard, and the question is, we are unfortunately not going to get the freeze, as we do see the Max Geyser, most likely into Spectrier. Does connect, does pick up the knockout on Spectrier. It is going to change the weather, which is really bad because we only do have Blizzard as an attack move. And so that is going to make things really tricky. But, I mean, we do have banded Urshifu. And I feel like Rotom is at half. So this close combat should hopefully pick up the knockout. We still have to go for Blizzard anyway, and I think it should be enough, right? Rotom is at half. We do hit the Blizzard, which is going to do even more chip, and now let's see, this is going to pick up the knockout. So good start, and I think what really helped is just the amount of pressure immediately from the get-go, where Spectrier just took Metagross down to half, and my opponent never really got to use their Metagross to use their weakness policy effectively, and we had so much speed advantage and just were able to constantly put pressure on the board. And I think that's really what hyper offense teams kind of do. And as you can see, I've only been using this team in Showdown so far, so I've never actually played with it until now. So that's been really cool. But yeah, really good start. I'm happy with the team so far, and let's just move to the next one. All right, battle number 2, and this is an interesting one. It is Togekiss with Hatterene. You have the Dracozolt, Mineshow with Dusclops and Tyranitar. Urshifu is big, but I really like it in the back. I also really like do I like Ninetales? Ninetales is really only helpful for Togekiss, but I do really like Spectrier Sableye. I think Sableye is going to be big in the fact that we can quash something like a Dracozolt. I want Urshifu. Do I want Urshifu? I could max Thundurus. Thundurus is actually a really good... No, I feel like I have to bring Urshifu for Tyranitar. And then the question is, what do I want with that? Thundurus is tempting, but I feel like I'd have to commit to maxing it. Ninetales would be nice to change the weather, but I don't really know how I can bring it in safely. I'm going to go with Porygon. I just think Porygon's defensive typing will be really beneficial, and with the fact that my opponent does have, I think, a guaranteed way to set up Trick Room, right? I think Mineshow also gets Copycat, or if that might just be Liepard. So having, I think, a slower, bulkier thing is going to be really beneficial. And so my opponent is going to lead with Dracozolt and Tyranitar. So, we do have the ability to go for, what's it called? We can go for a Will-O-Wisp, or we can go for a Quash. We do have Mudshot on the Spectrier. So I do expect the Dracozolt to be let's go for this on the Dracozolt, and let's go for a Will-O-Wisp on it. I think being able to just put on a lot of pressure with Sableye from the start is really key. I need to remind myself that Sableye cannot go for Will-O-Wisp on Tyranitar, because I keep forgetting that, and that always comes to bite me. We are going to see the Bolt Beak come out onto Sableye. Sableye is going to tank that really well as a result of this Will-O-Wisp, as we do get really good damage off with this Mud Shot, and I think that that's going to be great, especially with the speed drop. And I do expect Tyranitar to go for a Lash Out into Spectrier. Yeah. So Spectrier is going to go down, but at the same time, I feel like this is still like a pretty good position, just due to the fact that that Dracozolt is pretty crippled. And what we can do now is we can bring out Urshifu, I think, pretty safely. And because I was going to say we can go for a Surging Strike. What do they have in the back? They have... Yeah, I like Surging Strike into Tyranitar and Foul Play into Dracozolt. Or... That's so... I could just... No, I'm going to go for that and Foul Play into Dracozolt. I don't expect Bolt Beak to be able to KO Urshifu, but I could be wrong. Urshifu, just kidding. I thought it was a lot bulkier than it actually is, and now that's coming to bite me. Okay, that's fine. Tyranitar getting off another big Lash Out onto Sableye. Sableye, oh, that's actually bad. Okay, so I think this game is pretty much over. I should have Aqua Jetted. I should have helping him Aqua Jet into Dracozolt, or I should have brought up Porygon. But we do have Porygon. Porygon, I expect, can live some hits from the Dracozolt. We can't go for a Lash, or let's go for a Hailstorm. Nope. Let's Hailstorm into Tyranitar to get some chip damage. And I think I'm hoping a combination of Burn with Hail will be able to finish them off. So yeah, this was I think just really bad positioning on my end, where I assumed Urshifu could take a hit and it really couldn't, because I think I just really overestimated how much bulk it had, or the idea that it's not going to take that much from Bolt Beak. But I'm pretty sure that Dracozolt is banded. So how much? I'm actually just curious, what is Urshifu's bulk? And yeah, I mean, we just saw, oh, that was a crit. I was gonna say that did a ton of damage. And yeah, we do change the weather, so we do get rid of the special defense boost that Tyranitar is getting. And I think, yeah, a combination of the Hail with the Burn will pick up the knockout onto this Dracozolt. And Urshifu was 100 defense, okay? It definitely should have lived that hit. I don't know what people are talking about. But okay, that's fine. We lost Urshifu. It's not a big deal. We have Max Porygon against this Dusclops, which is... We can go... Let's go for the Max Phantasm onto it. I expect... What? Maybe a Helping Hand? We do see a Lash Out from Tyranitar, which is going to do not that much, to the point where I think we can probably get in a really good position. Wow, we almost actually pick up the knockout with Porygon onto that Dusclops, where it cannot take another hit. Lash Out's not going to do that much. And even better, they're going to set up Trick Room for us. But it does mean... So what? It does mean that Dusclops can freely go for the Pain Split. So I don't think my focus should be on Dusclops. I should try and knock out Tyranitar with this Hailstorm, and then set up a recovery versus the Dusclops. My opponent still does have their max. Yeah, we do see the obvious Pain Split, which is going to let that Dusclops recover quite a bit. But given the fact that they most likely have, what is it called? The thing where they get big, Nightshade. That's the word. Given the fact that they mostly likely have Nightshade, they cannot really touch Porygon. But given the fact that we saw the Trick Room, I'm guessing my opponent has Hatterene in the back. So what'll have to happen is, yeah, we do see Hatterene. Hatterene's going to max, and I don't actually think I can live a hit from it. But if I can live a hit from this Hatterene and recover enough to stall out the max, I think we'll be in pretty good shape. Because Dusclops cannot, or I mean, it can go for a Pain Split, but that's not really going to do much here. So I'm hoping that we can recover. Yeah, if we can get off enough HP recovery and live, but we're not going to, then I think we would have a match. But yeah, going for an attack onto the Dracozolt with Urshifu really would have been a good, oh god, it's weakness policy. Yeah, there's zero chance. Yeah, I think, but I still think the fact that we were able to pick up, or not pick up, I mean, we did pick up a KO, but like make a comeback from that really bad start where I think it was super clear that we should have been knocked out, and to say like, okay, cool, we did something and got back into the game really shows how hyper offense teams can function. But yeah, I should have really focused on Dracozolt, expecting that Tyranitar to not have much damage output, or even something like even Quash with Surging Strikes. That's actually would have been the better option, because then Tyranitar, as we saw, was going for Lash Out. If it had went for Superpower, its defenses would have gone down, and that really would have put us in a better position. But I mean, it is what it is. So hopefully in this next one we can show off this weakness policy strategy, because that is what the team is about. But yeah, let's keep rocking and rolling and move to the next one. All right, battle number 3, and it is really Trick Room heavy. It is, we have a Glastrier with Dusclops, Tapu Fini, Landorus, Regieleki, and Heatran. So we are gonna, are we necessarily dependent on... So the thing that I'm worried about the most, I guess, is... Actually, I really like Spectrier as a lead. I think Spectrier is fine. It does have a lot of good options depending on what my opponent brings out. So I actually like Spectrier Ninetales, right? Because Spectrier Ninetales, what I'm saying is Spectrier can taunt the Dusclops, and then, or, yeah, we do have really good damage onto Landorus with Ninetales. The fear, though, is obviously going to be a Lecky. Yeah, a Lecky Landorus is hard. Sableye and Urshifu, right? I think my opponent has to pressure for Trick Room, just given how fast my team is, right? Like that is really your best bet with the hope that you can use Dusclops' natural bulk to get that off. But at the same time, like, I do have Spectrier, so I don't know. I think I'm kind of banking on a state that I don't know will exist. And so we do see Regieleki Glastrier, which is very scary. I have to get damage onto Glastrier. What's nice is we know for a fact that they cannot set up Trick Room this turn. So what we can do is we can no, I want to Phantasm Blizzard. I could Aurora Veil. Aurora Veil is tempting because it gets me... I want to go for damage. I think... Okay, oh, even better. So we're going to see Lecky withdraw, as we're going to see Tapu Fini come out, which in my mind is fine. Because I'm hoping that we can bring Glastrier under half with a combination of this Shadow Ball, or not Shadow Ball, Max Phantasm and Blizzard. And I think if we can do that, we are in a really good spot. And then what makes sense is it probably makes sense to go for an Aurora Veil next turn, just with the idea that my opponent is also threatening with a lot of damage, and getting some sort of defensive prowess is really good. We are going to see them bring out their Max as well. And this is really tricky just because of the fact that I cannot, at this point, go for a Will-O-Wisp due to the fact that Glastrier has the terrain from Tapu Fini. So this is actually a tricky spot to be in. We are going to see the Phantasm come out. It's going to do hopefully a good amount. Okay, it's going to do not that much. That's fine. We're getting there. We do have Urshifu to help deal with the damage in the end. And I think, yeah, given how little that did, the main objective at this point is to try and use Ninetales for something like an Aurora Veil. We are going to see the what's it called, the Quake come out, which means that we're going to do even less, and the fact that they're getting special defense boosts is going to make this tricky. We do see Life Orb on Glastrier, which is really important to know because of the fact that, like, we know it's not weakness policy, and 2, it's not Assault Vest. So Glastrier does have the option of going for something like a Protect. And then what we have, Urshifu. Yeah, we have Urshifu and Sableye. I think we still just try and put pressure on Glastrier and go for the Aurora Veil. This is, I think, a little bit of an awkward spot just due to the fact that we don't really have a good way to switch out Ninetales, but at the same time, like, we really need Ninetales out of here. But I think the Aurora Veil will be very helpful overall, given especially the fact that Urshifu is so frail, and Urshifu really is going to be my main source of damage onto my opponent at this point, as they do get the accuracy drop on Spectrier, but not on Ninetales. Oh, and on Ninetales. They get a double drop, but I don't think Ninetales is affected by accuracy drops with Blizzard out. And Ninetales survives the Max Quake, which is tricky, to say the least. But we know that Spectrier can live another hit, and we do have Urshifu to deal with Glastrier. The problem though is going to be that Regieleki. So I say we just go for another Phantasm there and just go for a Blizzard with the idea that every little bit of chip is going to matter in the long run. We do get the Phantasm off, and I think with the Blizzard and the Life Orb damage, I'm hoping that actually takes down Glastrier, because that would be, I want to say that's a good trade. We're trading horse. Okay, maybe not, because of the amount of special defense boost. We do see that, yeah, so we're probably going to make a double trade here, which is actually really bad, because it means now that I have to target into an Aleki if I see it with what's it called, with Sableye. I'm doing the little motion of what it looks like right now. None of you can see that. All right, so we're down to the last two. Oh God, did Glass? Oh, I was like, did Glass not go down? Yeah, so they do lose their horse, but we are also down two. We know that they have Aleki, which is super, super scary for Urshifu, but their Tapu Fini is at -3 defense. And yeah, so we have to bring out you, and we have to bring out you. I really, really, really wish that, because yeah, we have to Poison Jab. We have to Poison Jab with Urshifu to knock out their Aleki and their Tapu Fini, because they do have the switch out. As we do, yep, see the Aleki come in. But I think we should be able to pick up the knockout onto Aleki with with this poison jab, right? I mean, it's banded Aleki. I mean, not Aleki, or Shifu. We are going to see the swap out from Tapu Fini, which is great. We are going to see Dusclops come in, which I think is fine as well. They are going to find out about my choice band and the fact that Sableye has wide lens. I don't know why I didn't show that. We do, yep, get that to connect. We managed to pick up the big poison jab onto Aleki, and oh god, it lives. And yeah, I think unless we, yeah, I was going to say unless we live, we don't live that. I guess, I don't know, Surging Strikes could have been an option, but at this point, like, Sableye unfortunately is not going to be able to solo the world as much as I would like that to, because what, I can foul play the Regieleki after having to take that, and I just take Nightshades until I die. A little bit of a tricky spot for sure. I think interesting to go for an Electroweb. I don't think that was necessary, especially because you have Thunderbolt, but we do, yeah, we're going to just get that off. You're going to be able to go for a Nightshade, and then Tapu Fini will finish things off. So trying to think back, what could have helped? I think not switching out Ninetales and just letting it kind of sit there for so long wasn't necessarily the best idea. And I think if I had I should have brought out Urshifu a lot sooner, knowing that the focus was on my Spectrier, with the idea that now I can fight back with pressure, and then I could have brought back out Ninetales later instead of just letting it be like that. Yeah. Or what? Was there an argument for anything else? I think Glastrier is definitely a sticking point for this team, and it really aggressively relies on Sableye getting off a Will-O-Wisp, and the fact that my opponent was able to pivot out into that really helped. And the fact that Ninetales, like, it only has Blizzard as its offensive move, which is very, very, very situational. But I don't know. Let's see. I want to see, did you have... Yeah, you did have some bulk and a lot of HP investment, obviously, so it makes sense why Glass was able to live a bunch of hits. And then, yeah, Dusclops, very... Actually interesting. Nightshade, Trick Room, Haze, and Gravity. That's really cool tech. So I'm wondering what is the need for Haze. We do see Rock Slide, maybe for big, sorry, Earthquakes. And then Thunderbolt, yeah, interesting. Some very cool sets from my opponent. I think, yeah, I like that a lot. But this video, I think, has been pretty short, I think, just as the nature of Hyper offensive teams. So let's play one more, because I kind of really want to see if we can get off the weakness policy on Thundurus. All right, battle number 4. Interesting. So it is Celesteela with Mamoswine, Sableye, Hawlucha, Charizard, and Venusaur. So I like Ninetales in the back. I like Thundurus with... I think Sableye is pretty big here. Do I think Sableye is pretty big here? Am I just saying that? I want Ninetales, but I want it... Actually, I don't think Ninetales... The fear is definitely if that Venusaur has Sleep Powder. Otherwise, I think Thundurus does a really good job at just nuking my opponent's team. Urshifu, I think, is big. Being able to Surging Strike into Mamoswine is huge. Hitting into Charizard is really great. The thing, obviously, to worry about is Hawlucha, if it's offensive. And then Spectrier doesn't do much. I'm going to bring Sableye. Yeah, I think offensive Hawlucha is definitely something to also be afraid of. Because I know, like, when I ran it at the beginning of Series 9, you can actually have Hawlucha one-shot Thundurus if you can proc a policy. And so, like, I don't know if how my opponent could do it, but I know that offensive Hawlucha isn't, like, it is a thing that exists. So let's see what my opponent's going to bring out. Okay, so we're going to see Venusaur Sableye. And so that tells me, what, you're going to Sunny Day and then what? Because, yeah, that's such, there's such a big fear of, if my opponent gets off, if they hit a Sleep Powder. I still think we go for it. Because, yeah, if you... this is so tricky. If they don't, we should pick up the knockout. But if they do, like, it is... this is such a hard spot. The Venusaur is just so tricky, and I think the fact that it's Sableye over Torkoal is a lot scarier, because even if I were to switch in Ninetales, they still have the advantage. Oh, okay, great. So we're gonna see the max on this Venusaur. So I'm guessing, I'm guessing it's going to be Quash from the Sableye onto... No, it's gonna be Sunny Day from... Is this gonna be Sunny Day? I don't actually know if you need to Sunny Day. It might be better just to Quash. Right? We're gonna see the Ice Shard trigger. Thundurus, is that a crit? Yeah, I was gonna say it does not. It should do about half of that. We do get the weakness policy to trigger, but this is going to be what? We're going to see, okay. So we do see Sunny Day come out from the Sableye. I don't think Venusaur should be able to KO Thundurus from this range. They are going to Vine Lash, most likely. Yep, into Ninetales. Ninetales actually lives, which I really wasn't expecting. We do get off this big Airstream onto Venusaur, and yeah, easy one-shot from Thundurus at that point, because it's so... I remember when I was like running calcs with weakness policy Thundurus, and like, it's absurd. Like, my opponent just got their max one-shot, and if we have Ninetales go down, like, what? I can just go for Quash with my own Sableye and finish off everything that they could have in the back. It is obviously a little bit tricky with Sableye and the fact that it can have Will-O-Wisp. So what? I'm going to bring up my Sableye. We do see what? And I think, like, even if they do get the burn off, like, we still are at neutral with Thundurus, which isn't anything to scoff at, as they're going to bring out Celesteela, and we could Max Guard. Because what I'm thinking is, what if Celesteela is Meteor Beam? If Celesteela is Meteor Beam, I say we just still go for that with... yeah, let's just go for a Lightning onto Celesteela with a Helping Hand onto Thundurus. Let's do that. The fear, I think, though, is if my opponent is Meteor Beam. We do see the Helping Hand come out. I expect a Will-O-Wisp. We do see the Quash. So yeah, I probably should have gone for Protect, which would have been really cute. Because then, yeah, oh, that was such a bad play. Because I don't know if I'll live this hit. We are going to see the Meteor Beam. It is going to connect. Shoot. Yeah, oh god, I got overly excited. And I think as a result, that really did cost me, because now that Celesteela, yeah, if I had protected like I said I should have, we would have been in a much stronger position, because now the sun is out, so my Urshifu's not going to be doing nearly as much damage. I think I still go for the Surging Strikes with the Quash, but Celesteela is just going to be able to retaliate with an Air Slash, and oh, that was such an easy read. Protect to make it so Meteor Beam has to charge for a turn, and then just knock it out the next turn. I don't know why I got, like, I threw that mash. I'm not gonna pretend I didn't, because like that was such an easy read. Oh, Urshifu's not dark. I was like, how are you able to quash me? That was, yeah, a very easy read on my part, and yeah, Surging Strikes is doing absolutely nothing due to the sun. That's super tricky. They do connect with the Air Slash. Oh, onto the Sableye. Doesn't matter. Sableye feints. I think that makes more sense, because now you can just get that boost. But yeah, if we had protected, we should have protected and gone for Will-O-Wisp onto their Celesteela. But instead, that's a little bit of a pity. Yeah, I get really overly excited at times, and this is one of those cases, and as a result, I completely threw what should have been an easy win, because of the fact that I knew that if I had just protected, their Celesteela would have wasted a turn, been forced to charge up, and then I could have just clean swept. But I don't know. It is what it is. I still really enjoy this team. We'll play more matches with it. Hopefully do better than today and show it off more. But yeah, until next time, I hope all of you are wonderful, and I'll see you then.